It's Wednesday, April 13th. Welcome to the Daily Shed. Hello, friends. I am Chevy. Welcome to the Shed. It is Wednesday. Good day for me because I get to play board games on Wednesday nights. For 2 weeks in a row, I don't get to go. Last week, I told you Jamie was out of town, so I was on dad duty. Tonight, the group canceled for some reason. Sucks. Game night has been something I've done for a very long time. It started with a poker night, then transitioned to board games, and now there's a community that meets at my local library every Wednesday, and we play for about 4 or 5 hours, various board games, whatever anybody brings. And there's like, on the average night, probably 20 people there. It's pretty fun. No game night tonight, so I'm going to work on something that's long overdue for me, is an office. I have a space on the other side of the basement that is currently just housing board games on shelves, and it's a mess, like a total disaster in there. So that's all going to get cleared out. I'm going to put in some outlets, drywall it, build a desk. I'm going to have an editing station so that I can do these videos more in a more controlled environment. So, whether you care about that or not, that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about books today. Recently, I tweeted, probably last week or so, that I needed something new to read, a new series, something I could get into. I just finished the last book of the Dresden Files series, like 15 books, I think, and so I needed something new to read. I am a reading person. I like reading, but it's one of those things that I go through, like 1 month I'll read a dozen books, and then I won't read again for 6 months or a year. Sometimes I don't read for years, and then I remember, I like reading, and I read again. So I tweeted I needed some ideas, and I got back like dozens of responses from people saying, read this or read that and read this. So every time I got a response, I opened up. I don't buy books anymore. I just use a Kindle. This is not a Kindle, but I've got the Kindle app. Fire it up, look at the library to see what the library has to offer, and then go from there. So I found 2 of the recommendations. One of them I'd heard of, one of them I hadn't. They were both available, so I got them. That's what we're going to talk about. This isn't a review. It's probably going to get a little preachy. Sorry. Especially if you're an author. I have preferences, right? So these 2 books that I'm talking about, one of them is by an author named Robin Hobb. That's a pseudonym. I don't know her real name. Don't care. The book is called The Assassin's Apprentice. It's part of the Farseer trilogies. She has 3 trilogies set in this world. Okay? But they're not. It's not like Star Wars where it's one story. It's like disconnected stories. The second book is Patrick Rothfuss' Name of the Wind, which I had heard of before, just never bothered to read. So both of these books are similar-ish in a sense that they are told from the perspective of a male protagonist who is coming of age, learning about his special abilities. They're both set in a fantasy world with low magic. There's not wizards running around slinging fireballs, but people do have magic abilities. And they both have the same tone of, we're just going to assume that you know everything about this world and just get on with it, which I love. I don't like books that try to hold my hand and teach me about every little race or coin, or I don't care. Just tell the story, and I'll figure the details out as we go along. So they both do that sort of thing. They're both told in a sort of first-person way. The Assassin's Apprentice is told, the main character is Fitz, and he tells the story as if he's talking to his grandkids or something. I don't know. I have only read the first book, so I don't know who he's telling the story to, but he's telling the story as if telling to somebody. And then in Name of the Wind, he's literally telling somebody, in the book. There's 2 timelines in the book. You start off in present and not present to that character, and then he ends up chronicling his story. Here's the thing. I couldn't put down either. No, I could. The Name of the Wind, I've had a very difficult time putting down. Meaning, like, I lost sleep last night because I didn't want to end on the chapter I ended on, it's a good book. Read it. The other book, the Robin Hobb book, it's a good book. She does a very good job of describing how a teenage boy feels, which is strange to, that a woman would truly understand the mind and body of a teen. Does a great job of that. It is a good story, but her writing, I couldn't put that book down, not because it was a really good book, but because it was really easy to read. I don't want to say it was a young adult book because it wasn't, and that's the thing I hate. It's pretentious. She writes this very non-detailed storyline. It's very straightforward. Boy does A, goes to B, C, blah, blah, blah. There's a It's a tiny little plot twist. There's a tiny plot twist at the end. Okay. But the book is very easily digestible. The problem is the author feels the need to impress us with her lexicon. And I frickin' can't stand it when authors do this crap. If I have to hit the dictionary button on my Kindle over and over and over again on stupid words that nobody cares to know, it pulls me out of your book. And when the book is so non-complicated as this, it's really frickin' annoying. Now, the opposite side is Patrick Rothfuss's writing style, which is very clean, but he's telling a much more complicated story with much more complicated characters, many more complicated branches of this story, but he's doing it in pretty plain English. You can't put it down because it's so good, not because it's an easy read. It's not an easy read, but it uses normal language. Why do authors feel the need to impress you with their knowledge of the English language? I don't give a crap if you know what these words mean. Just tell the story. And she has a good story. Unfortunately, what could have been a successful, junior story or not young adult, but maybe young adult story was muddled with all this crap language that nobody gives a crap about. Now, I went on and I read some reviews of the last of the trilogy, and people say it's a good trilogy, so I'm going to finish reading it. But, man, it just irritates me. Why do that? Just write in language people understand, please. If you're an author, there is a time and place for using your big fancy words that nobody's ever heard of. Okay, I get it. You've studied the English language and you want to show us. That's cool. Not every other sentence in a book that has basically one plot line and nothing else going on. That's just dull and annoying. So that's it. That's my rant for the day. I don't know how you feel about it. Maybe you have something particular to say about these two books. That's fine. We can talk about the books, or we can talk about my qualms with the excessive use of obtuse words. I don't even know if I used that correctly. I don't care. That's how much I am annoyed by it. Talk to me in the comments. Thanks for liking and subscribing. I'll see you guys tomorrow.